right time. You just got to take action and learn as you go sometimes, because the stars are never going to align if you're waiting on that situation. And I know even the situations of myself, I remember have times of having to call and try to get confirmations from other people about different things, but it's just like, man, you just got to go sometimes. Like, your vision is not going to be somebody else's vision, so you got to just jump out there and do what you got to do sometimes. And your first step is always your most important step, because that just getting you going. Your first step is always going to be your most important step, because that's going to get you in a ball game. Now once you're in the game, you can figure out the ins and outs of what you got to do. So even Eddie, you've created businesses, and how hard was it for you to do that, make that first step?
Yeah, it was definitely tough. And one thing I was going to touch on is the fact that a lot of you don't take that first step because you want that reassurance from somebody else that don't even have the same dream that you have. So you're scared to take that initial step in order to go towards that dream or that goal that you're looking for. So sometimes, again, with redefining success, it's about what you think success is. Success can't be based off Jamie's success, or Jamie's ideal thought process of success can't interfere with mine is. You know what I'm saying? We still can have that same, we want to be successful, but his path and his journey may be different than what mine is. So again, the actions that the steps that we take to get there have to be pretty much ordained by God. And then you as that individual have to take those steps based off what you want to do. It's your journey, so you gotta take those steps for yourself, not nobody else.
And even one thing John Maxwell said that was key was saying you're not going to know your next step until you take the previous step before. So if I'm sitting here like, man, I need to do this, so this and this and this can happen. It don't work like that. I need to make that first step, and then I'll know what I need to do for my next one. So it's your next step, your previous steps ahead are not going to appear, because the things you're going to align in your mind that you think you should do, once you make that first step, things are going to change. The weather might not be the way you thought it was going to be that day. You know what I mean? The wind may be blowing a little too hard to do what you thought you were going to do that day. Your car may break down that day. Whatever it is, like, man, it's life. Like, things consistently happen. So you got to be able to just, man, jump out there and go. Just go. Just grind, man. Just get out there and go. So another thing I want to touch on, he said growth enables you to keep going. You don't go up to the top. You grow up to the top.
Right.
Come on now.
Yeah.
You don't go up to the top. You grow up to the top.
Yeah.
So now we talking about growth, and I had to shift my focus to this, and this is a John Maxwell. This was in his book, The Leaderships. I had to shift my focus from being goal oriented to growth oriented. So when you're goal oriented, you set a goal, and you can hit a goal and not grow through that. So I can set a goal for myself to reach to pass my test. Just because I set a goal to pass my test, I can go past my test, but that don't mean I grew in that situation. I could have cheated. I could have looked on somebody else's paper. I could have just got lucky that day. That don't mean I grew through that moment or I got any smarter just because I passed that test. But when you focus on growth, you hit your goals as well. So if I got a goal in this growth, I'm growth oriented, and I want to grow. At this day, I want to be at this in my life. I'm growing through the step. I'm going to hit my goals too. So that's a mindset.
And even to take that a step further, in that process of you growing, so you're learning how to, in that growth process, you're learning how to pass the test. You're learning how to study and what it took in order to achieve this high grade that you wanted. Now you add value to that younger child, that high schooler, that person in college that may not know how to study correctly. Now the process of you growing, you knew what it took to get there. So now you're able to add value to that person, to that individual, by telling them the way that you learned how to study, and that will enable them to, probably they could process it maybe the same way that you did in order to get the type of grade, that same good grade that you got.
Yeah.
So it's about that's growing, and also you still adding value.
Yeah. And I challenge everybody, man, just shift your focus to grow. Be a better person. Wake up every day trying to be a better person and reach higher growth, not goals. And another thing we were touching on is how when you're going through these steps, like every step got to be your favorite step. You know what I mean? It can't be I get the money and that's my favorite step. Yeah. It's like, nah, you gotta fall in love with that grind phase too. That stage of where you grinding and things might align. You still got to wake up every day as if your business is at the top of the line and you reached everything you want to be. So it's like every step got to be your favorite step, and then that's each step. That's the compound. That's what it's been, that compound process. I mean, you getting that layer of the compound. because each step compounds the previous layer.
Yeah.
So like each step is like, okay, I got to that. So now I got that in the reserve back there. I know I did that, and I can always fall back on, you know, the confidence of knowing I passed that step. So it's building that compound interest in yourself.
And a lot of you are, for the younger generation, because I do have kids, I have a child, but the younger generation, they typically look at social media as what they see on social media, that's what it is. But they don't know the journey that it took to get to where that person is. So basically what I'm saying is they're looking at it in a sense of, they're looking at it in a sense of they all right, this rapper or this artist, they showed $1 million one day, and they tell you, all right, here are 2 easy steps to get there. Basically like an overnight success of achieving that lump sum of money or that position, but they don't tell you about the process in between in order to get that resource, that money or that position. It was a lot that went in between, so you have to enjoy every bit of it. Every step is vital to getting that level of success.
Yeah, that success stuff, man, and it's so, and the important of your mindset, how powerful your mind is, man. Each day, and as we are on our journey and we try to reach higher heights, man, it the emphasis on the focus of the mindset, because the power of your mind really, you know, focus on how you go. And even that leadership conference was so impactful. Even going into Cat Cole, she the first thing she said, she was like, what legacy you leave, the importance on what legacy you leave, and what do people make you, how do people make you feel? That was a question she proposed. What legacy you leave, are you gonna leave, and how do you make people feel? And just simple stuff like that, thinking about, man, okay, how do you make somebody feel? Like, that's important. You probably don't think about that, but how do people feel when you come around? And
when you come around, when you leave,
like that's all about the value you add. And another important thing she said when we talked about the acronym FAIL. When we talk about the acronym FAIL, it was like, so the first attempt in learning, and then she talked about how failure is not fatal. And one thing I mentioned, like failure and success go hand in hand.
Go together.
And John Maxwell mentioned this too, like, so failure and success go hand in hand, but we try to separate the two all the time. So we try to act like, you know, you can reach a level of success without failing, but it don't work like that. Anybody's success story, your favorite rapper, your favorite whatever actor, whatever, they always had a story of how they had to break barriers to get to where they at. But why do we try to separate the two? Why do we try to act like we can reach a level of a level of success without failure? So it's just like, and that blows my mind, because we constantly in a place where we hearing stories of people doing, you know, having to be homeless or having to whatever that is to reach that level where they at. But we always think that we just gonna blow up overnight. So it's like, and she talked about the hustle and heart. And what do you think? So the important, just talk about the importance of that hustle and heart, man. And just going out there and grinding and having that hustle, whatever you're doing, that heart to break them barriers.
Yeah, and you know, again, I just go back to, you know, you can't let outside opinions or outside, you know, that he say, she say, and sometimes it is even family members at some points where they may not believe in that journey, that level of success that you're trying to get to. They may not believe in, they may not think that journey that you see, or the journey that you're going through is even called for. They may not think it's necessary. Well, why would you do it that way? Again, what Jamie just said is that one step helped you get to where you are, and it made you better. So that same step that you took, you can, again, somebody else, you can teach that to somebody else. You can show somebody else, this is what I had to go through. This is what I had to endure. So whenever they're faced with that same thing, they know how to deal with it. So that's the hustle. So you got to hustle, man, like no tomorrow. It's only going to happen with the amount of effort that you put into it. And then having a heart, man, you got to be able to just to push forward no matter what, because you're going to be faced with a lot of adversity, man. That's crazy. That's one big thing about life, I think, for myself. Adversity is key. You're going to be faced with that adversity, but it's how are you going to deal with it when you're faced with it? That's going to determine that pinnacle of the level of success that you're ultimately going to reach.
Yeah. I mean, man, like I be loving these conversations, man, but we've been trying to monitor our time and see, because we got to get our viewers up on here. We got to spread the message. But the people that do watch these videos until they hold full length, man, we appreciate you, and we're gonna grow upon you. We're not forcing anything. We just, you we want to be more concise with what we do. We want to be able to get this message out. So we're gonna pretty much try to wrap it up here. But I'm gonna leave, and we're gonna leave off this note. She said our past is our truth, but it's not our jail. And that kind of impacted me a lot too, because I think a lot of people they'll let other people hold their past against them and hold them back from doing what they got to do because they may have did XYZ in the past. But it's like, man, our past is not that's in the past. That's not our future, and you can't hold my past against you like that. It is, it happened. It happened. You're right, that did happen. You know what I mean? I did whatever. But that's not my jail. Like, I grew from that. That goes back to that growth, like growing from your money.
Build on that as well.
Yeah. So it's building. So in this, so I'm just on the topic of, like I said, redefine success, the joy of the journey, and I like that fail. Just what is it? Fail. I got a first attempt in learning. So I loved how she broke that down. So just going to that, I don't know. You got any other thing to say, Eddie?
I like the acronym F.A.I.L also. I know it may seem kind of crazy that I said, but I want you to fail in a way so that you can learn from your mistakes, so you won't go through that again. And again, even with that, learn from failing. That way you can add value to somebody's life by teaching them what you felt at in life, and you can help them get over whatever they're dealing with in life.
Yeah, that's true, man. So we, like I said, man, we're gonna keep doing these, getting that game, that guidance, attention, motivation, and education. And other than that, man, we're gonna close out on that. Remember, November 28th, we will have our first annual Community Fun Day. We look forward to seeing everybody there. I don't care if you're white, black, Puerto Rican, Mexican, whatever color you are, everybody is welcome to this. And we look forward to seeing you there. So other than that, we'll see y'all next time, man.